So the Youth Olympics have started. I will not bother you with a video about the opening ceremony. If you're interested, just look at this video below. What I would like to talk about is Singapore, the economy, and also the people and its traditions. I spoke with quite some people these last few days and I've learned more about Singapore, so let's talk about that now. If you look at the total land area of Singapore, you realize that Singapore is very small. It has only 683 square kilometers. A country like Luxembourg has 2,500 square kilometers, and even my own country, Curacao, has 444 kilometers. But the population in Singapore is only almost 5 million people, from which 77% are Chinese and only 14% are original Malaysian. 1.5 million people living here are immigrants who came to the country to work at these tremendous buildings, like you see here. Singapore became a fisher city and went to an international powerful country. Looking at the economic growth, Singapore is growing with a percentage of 15%, which is even more than big countries and economies like Japan and China. What is also important is that Singapore really doesn't have any resources. They depend completely on the harbor, which is one of the biggest of the world, and also on the financial services, the international banks, which you see everywhere here. Some very positive aspects of Singapore are that they're very organized. It's a very clean country also, and you have almost rules for everything. The taxes are low, which of course are very beneficial for businesses, and the government really has a long-term vision. They also focus on tourism, and you see everywhere very big and expensive hotels. Like this one. I didn't go up as yet, but I will do my best to go up and have a look at the view. This is the Sand Hotel, and on top of this hotel you have a very big swimming pool also. There are of course also some negative aspects, and what I have heard here is that it's way too organized, too much rules, and also they have fines for everything. And there was even a cab driver who said Singapore is a fine country, not a fine country. It's not allowed to chew any chewing gum, and you can only purchase chewing gum on prescription in the drugstore. And everything from clothing to laptops, computers, you name it, is expensive. Everything except food. People work very hard there. Almost everybody works 6 days in the week, and the taxi drivers normally start 6 o'clock in the morning and they work until 11 o'clock in the night. There is exploitation of immigrant workers. They work even harder. And like housemaids are not allowed to get any children, and if a housemaid works with you, you can even decide that she has to work 7 days in the week, so she has no free time at all. Now let's get back to sports. Singapore is very ambitious. That's also one of the reasons that they organize the Youth Olympics. Actually, they have the Formula 1 races since 2008, and Formula 1 is a sport which is the most expensive around the world. And actually I think 2 weeks after the Youth Olympics they'll be having another race here in Singapore. I went to the Singapore Sporting House, which is in a hotel here where they exhibit some of their dreams and some of their projects for the future. And let's take a look at the video now. The exhibition was very small, but I think it gives a good impression of what Singapore aims for in the near future. So this was in a Swiss hotel, and here we see the sports hub which they will build in the near future, so where they will invite athletes from all around the world to come for their trainings camp. It's in the middle of the center, which is seat capacity of 55,000 people. I spoke already about the Formula 1 races, and they will invest more money in races. They are already building a new track which will be ready in 2011, and this is a small model of the track. So this will also generate lots of income for the country Singapore. It's called the Changi Motorsports Hub. So once again another international hub to get the international sporting community to Singapore. And another project is a big swimming pool, which we will see just around here. The Asia's premier high performance training hub, also very modern.